This is going to be a start of a series of videos, very short, quick videos on very beginner technique, but also kind of goes into detail that might help someone out that's been playing for a while. For this one, I want to look into hammer-ons. That's a technique, if you're not familiar with the term hammer-on, it's when we're actually making a note sound just by the fretting hand. And if you're right-handed, your left hand if you're a right-handed guitarist. That's the hand holding the strings and the frets here. So the hammer-on is a sound generated by my finger hitting on the fret. And a lot of times you'll hear it with a normal plucked note. So I'll pluck, let's go to our bottom string, our E string. I'm going to pluck the 3rd fret while I hold it with my index finger, and my middle finger is going to hit the 4th fret after I pluck it. And I'm not going to pluck for that 2nd note. So there's a hammer-on. And maybe you can do them really fast or very slow. The way I always looked at it is the first note you make with the pick, that note has some momentum to it. So the quicker you hammer on after it, you don't have to hit as hard. And that's usually the hardest part for someone starting with a hammer, is getting your finger to hit hard enough on the fret. If you hit too soft or it bounces off, you got to hit and push, basically. It's not going to sound out very loud, or you won't hear it at all. I always tell people, think of it like the hammering finger. Think of the fretboard as a magnet pulling it down. I mean, like when you let 2 strong magnets, you let go and they hit each other. That's what's going to happen. And you don't want to keep the hand totally rigid. You want to hit it hard, but not totally rigid. I'm going to keep my finger loose, and so it can swing into it and get more momentum, but also make sure the tip of my finger hits hard. And then try out with different fingers. I'll go 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 2 to 3, every combination possible. And I mean, that's how the hammer-on is going to work. You can do it on any string. You can do it with multiple strings. And just try it out all the ways. Just kind of first mess around with it a little bit, get your fingers working. And then before you just sit there practicing hammer-ons over and over and over, put a metronome on and try to practice them so you're controlling the timing and controlling your fingers. So I'll put a metronome on. And practice hammering on with the metronome going. That way when you go to use it in a song, say there's a pattern going, you're not going to go all over the place rhythmically. You're going to control your hammer-ons and get that down as you're learning it, not wait until later to realize you have to actually do that to use them in music. There's multiple hammer-ons too. We can do more than one at a time. I can do up to 4 if I hit an open string and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, 2 or 3 in a row. I mean, hammer-ons make it very easy to play fast because your picking hand kind of gets to go lazy. But they have a totally different sound if I go from one note to the other. Or hammer-on. It's going to give a very distinctly different sound. And I mean, the main thing is when you practice them, I'll go back into that, make sure you're doing it so it's like you're making music, not that you're just going through a movement over and over. Make it in time, try to make it sound good. And if it's too hard to do fast, slow that metronome down. Don't try to practice fast with the metronome. Try to see if you can pull it off slow and perfect. If you can't, slow it down some more. When you can, then you practice it, and then you speed it up.